Welcome back to Retro Ratz. We have a star guest today.
Hello.
Hello. He's ever so posh. And yeah, he's got a real posh accent.
Not a lot I can do about that.
And you might remember from a long time back, because it's been a while now, a few different things. This is Wilson, the Rover 214, and we're going to see if we can get it back together today.
Brand new head gasket.
So the seal has come off a brand spanking new head gasket. Now apparently this is a multi-layer one. You can just about see the multi-layers. So yeah, it's a multi-layer gasket. They're not cheap, these things. That's why K-series end up in the scrapyard, because they are quite a bit dearer to do. There's a shim if you've had it skimmed, and lots and lots of fresh new gaskets. Top, nice. Are we allowed to say roll Farish? Do you know what it is yet? I think that's banned now, isn't it? No, well,
in bad taste, really.
And there's the new through pins, but yeah, let's see how we get on. Da, 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 magic moment.
Reuniting the head and the engine.
Wilson's like, hello, haven't seen you for a while. Where you been? On holiday? Now we're hoping that's sitting pretty. We're hoping that's sitting pretty.
It sat down okay on there, so
watch this space.
next job
Yeah.
is actually to remove what they call the oil rail,
Okay.
which is actually what holds the cams in. Remove the cams, then put the bolts in. And the reason I'm removing the cams is because when we were taking the timing belt off, because the timing belt had snapped effectively, we didn't get the bottom pulley bolt undone.
Right.
So we need to undo it, but in undoing it, I reckon the engine might rotate slightly.
Yeah.
If I leave the cams in and pushing down the valves and we rotate the engine, we're going to be back to square one, because this
Yeah.
thing's going to hit the valve. So whip that off, take the cams out. I want to do the cam seals anyway. We've got new seals down there, and then there's no risk of that happening, and we can get that bolt undone.
So Harry isn't talking this down yet. We're just going to get the thread to bite, hold it in place, and then, as he said earlier, he's going to undo the cam.
So not even going to have the flange of the head flange of the head of the bolt touch the head of the engine. Just pop them in.
So Retro Rat people, when did you last see a 214 on the road? This has been off the road since the very end of October, and out and about, and I do a lot of mileage a year, a lot of mileage, and I've only seen one on the road in those 8 months when I've been driving about. Getting rare now, these old beasts. Now, Harry's undone the cams.
Yep, so that's going to come off.
Taking that off.
Exhaust cam and the inlet cam.
There you go.
And there's no chance of getting them mixed up, because this one's got the distributor on the end.
Tip for the day.
Following the tightening sequence, so we go 20 Newton meters on all of them first.
20 Newton Faulkners.
and then we go 180 degrees and then 180 degrees after all of them have been, yeah, that's number 5, so 20. And I put grease on the bolts as I was fitting them because that will give an accurate torque number. If you don't put grease on, then if there's any dirt or debris or anything on there, then that's going to affect the torque and you're not going to get a good seal.
Another good tip for the day.
So this is torquing by angle rather than by torque, and we're going 180 degrees on all.
180! You've won a speedboat.
Great.
Yeah. That'll turn your other one in.
It's fixed now.
Hey! Right, people, we had a bit of a detour.
Let's go to Halfords.
I'm no longer going to slag off Halfords tour, because we couldn't get this bolt undone because it had been in there for 24 years. And if you go, oh, the vehicle's older, yeah, but it had an engine replacement at 50,000 miles. So this bolt has been in there for potentially 24 years. And it was a bit of a sod to get out. Good job Harry's nice and strong. Harry's quietly confident, and the reason why he's doing this vehicle is he loves to mechanically do challenging vehicles, keeping a classic on the road, but hasn't got the expense of keeping it himself.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's not a mug like me, so he's just fettling underneath. I'm surprised that this age of vehicle even had an engine cover, or should we call it an oil catcher?
Very refined.
Yeah.
It's a Rover, it's a luxury vehicle.
It is. Speaking of luxury vehicle, Wilson's never had a tour, so just to deviate from the mechanical going on at the moment. Look at that wood trim. This is why I wanted Wilson saved, because he is just an elegant vehicle. And yes, when he does get back on the road, I will get him valeted. There is the remains of the cam belt. We're just taking the pulley wheel off. And there's quite a lot of cam belt in there. It really shredded it, didn't it?
Not camembert, but cam belt.
Nice.
None of my bikes, they're all rascals with bike engines in.
Brand new cam belt, or should we say timing belt, going on in a mo. And treating it to some new cam seals so that it won't leak over the new cam belt
Hopefully.
and cause a problem. Are they hard plastic?
They're like rubber, they're like no, they won't be like it. They're rubber.
Right, so the cam is back on and loosely done up, and we're now going to follow this sequence here of the carrier bolt tightening sequence. It's all back in place, all done back up.
You know, earlier when we were struggling,
go.
Struggling with the crank bolt earlier.
Yeah.
This is the extension that I bent trying to get it undone. So nice piece of, half-inch bar.
Lay it on there.
It's just twisted up. It's quite tight.
Yeah.
It's quite tight.
Ever seen one do that? Nice. That's for a future welding project now then.
Yeah, you're welcome to it.
It's a bit skew-if.
Put it with your bent valves.
Yeah. I got and the rods.
Yeah.
They're all going to get used in the workshop soon.
It's actually set.
Harry has set the cam and he has locked it in place. So just threading the cam belt round.
Yeah, This doesn't seem long enough.
Doesn't seem long enough. That's interesting. Watch this space. Right, people, I can't find it to do the vinyl scratch record. This belt is too small because the belt is Rover Metro 1.1, 1.4 when the camera focuses, Rover 111, Rover 200 series, which is a 1.4, which this is, but it's not an 8 valve, it's a 16 valve, hence the belt is too small. It's not all wasted because Nippy Norm does need a cam belt, so that's good. So now we're on the phone to see if we can get the correct belt quickly. So a bit like any retro Ratz video, it's not completed. So the update is we drove all the way from Swindon to Cirencester, going around the different motor factors, and the reason why we went to Cirencester is because good old Euro car parts. Let the motorbike go by. There you go. And they said they had one in stock. Let us pay. We went and got it, but we didn't get it because they didn't have it. It was a computer error, and they could get it for Monday, but that doesn't help us today or this weekend. So we went around the other places and they're all shut. So unfortunately, we're not going to see it fire up today because that's going to have to stay in situ.
But I did get treated to lunch.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm happy enough.
Harry's had a burger. He's chose a few model vehicles from my unsorted collection.
Gotta love it.
And we're now putting the fuel injection system back on.
Yeah.
Gonna refitting the exhaust system. So it's all
that is.
refitted, it is.
Yeah.
So it's all ready to go, minus one cam belt. So in essence, it's much better than it was, but still the same as it was.
Still broken, but less broken.
So still broken, but less broken. In other news, Harry did successfully chop the roof off a Rascal. So if you do want a roof for a Rascal, it's there now. Yeah. So just a few more bits to go back on. We're going to get it all ready, and it'll be another day. Just before we go, I'll show you this lovely 1969 Rally 20, because I know a lot of you who are all into the same sort of things. So I'm going to do a separate video on that because I haven't cycled in a few years now. So I'm going to be recommissioning this and have a go at cycling. So Harry's just doing the injection inlet valve.
Just all the inlet manifolds
Going up now.
All on.
Put them back in. Now, you're in the comments, the original Jubilee clip. A good quality little Jubilee clip. Now Harry's engineer brain says that that's not a good Jubilee clip.
It's not a good Jubilee.
We're going to do a poll in the video, in the comments.
It's fine. It'll get the job done, but it's not a good Jubilee clip.
No. So what's your opinion of this Jubilee clip? Obviously, in Harry's engineering capacity, he looks at that and went, "Phew." I looked at that and thought, oh. And looked
Shiny.
at that. And I looked at that and I thought, shiny. So, what's your thoughts? Put it in the comments, Harry can have a laugh. The day is completely against us, but Harry, being a hard life boater, is not deterred by a bit of water. Me, on the other hand, all my coats went off in my car, which Peggy's taken to a music festival, and I didn't realise she had all my coats until such time as she'd gone. So I'm in the safety of the garage, but yeah, it's going together and Harry's doing a cracking job. I'm really grateful to him. So we just got to wait about now, and it might be back on the road, who knows. The weather really hasn't improved. And poor Harry's got a... Well, he's going to be dry on the train. He's got a lovely train journey back up to the land of Brum. He's just fitting the HT leads now. Everything is back together. But without the belt, we're not going to know to another day. Well, a massive thank you to Harry for popping along today. The engine is rebuilt, but unfortunately we never got to try, excuse me, smoke in my eye, never got to try firing it up today because unfortunately it was the wrong cam belt. The cam belt, ironically, is for this one, as I probably said earlier. So yeah, it's rebuilt, and you, the same as we do, we have to wait until the belt arrives before we recommission it and get it on the road. He will live again. So until next time, stay safe, stay retro people, and I'll see you on the next one.